I am Rick Pillay, class of 77. My roommate is Chip. He's your cook. My co-founder of this is Mike Simler. Mike's going to tell you he's the son of a fighter pilot. I was a fighter pilot. We welcome you here today, not because we're happy just to come out here and see and look at the good weather, but to say, hey, we're going to support our cadet student athletes out here in the field. And we're going to do that by just being here and enjoying this beautiful day that we have and give thanks for that. I have several DVs I'd like to welcome today. The Honorable Heather Wilson, Secretary of the Air Force. Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David Goldfein. Commanding General, United States Special Operations Command, Lieutenant General Brad Webb. Superintendent of the Air Force Academy, Lieutenant General Jay Severa. Very important today because we're going to honor an individual with this name. Mrs. Terry Chapman, mother of Medal of Honor recipient Master Sergeant John Chapman, her son Kevin Chapman, his wife Connie Russo, and their daughter Sierra Chapman. We also like to welcome two members of our Thudgate family that are here. Major General Mike Lowe, Lieutenant General Retired Gould, and we also like to welcome Nancy Hickson, the AFAC CEO that is here today. We give thanks to all those contributing to making this a special day. We're familiar with a lot of people that we have here. Todd Baldwin of the United States Army at Red Lake Brewing Company.
Free beer!
I almost forgot to mention our athletic director, Colonel Block, who allows us to be here. Thank you very much. We also thank the Service Academy Forum that gave a nice donation for us today, and their ongoing support for our mission of service before self. We'd like to thank a newest local member, Noah Botkin of the Botkin Financial Group and Northwestern Mutual. His personal contribution is to acquiring one of our stunning Michael Garman statues that now represent our Thudgate to John Chapman A Service Before Self Award. When you look at these statues, look at them closely, and then they are flanked by two symbolic objects. To your left is a piece of steel from the Twin Towers. That should make you think a little bit, from the Twin Towers. And on your right in the wooden box is a piece of the home that this guy named Osama bin Laden was killed in. So we're honoring some very important things here. These statues were handcrafted for this award. Very much appreciated. Closer. I was told to talk closer. You guys know this is Thudgate. The reason we have Thudgate because it references our past and our heritage. The F-105 that was flown by many people to include Mike's dad, General George Simler. F-105 in Southeast Asia was an airplane that not only did its mission but also had many sacrifices between planes being shot down, men being killed, and being captured. The F-105 that you see over here, nicknamed the Thud. Therefore, we combined Thud with tailgate, and we got Thudgate. And that is how we became our name. Of the 115 Air Force graduates from the Air Force Academy flew the F-105, 9 were killed in action, 7 served their country as prisoners of war. 2 Air Force Crosses and 36 Silver Stars were awarded to those graduates. The remarkable hero of the Thud era, Lieutenant Carl Richter, a 1964 graduate of our Air Force Academy. He was shot down July 28, 1967, at the age of 24. He was leading a bombing attack on a North Vietnam bridge. When he was struck by automatic aircraft fire, he managed to eject from his F-105 and parachute into rocky terrain, where he sustained life-threatening injuries, including a broken neck. Although a rescue force was able to receive him quickly, he died in a rescue hospital helicopter on his way back to safety. At Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, there's a statue depicting the chiseled figure of a fighter pilot, a Thud driver, Lieutenant Carl Richter. And below it is the biblical inscription of Isaiah 6:8, which reads, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Here am I. Send me." Carl Richter was a recipient of the Air Force Cross, as is the recipient of the 2018 Thudgate John A. Chapman Service Before Self Award. Master Sergeant Robert Gutierrez. I'm going to turn this over to Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike Simler, and I am the son of a Thud driver. The Thudgate John A. Chapman Service Before Self Award is representative of the warrior spirit of the Thud drivers we just heard about, who fought a war nearly 60 years ago. In 2002, our nation, leading the global war on terrorism, in that same spirit was displayed on a mountainside in Afghanistan, Medal of Honor recipient, Master Sergeant John A. Chapman, who gave his life, distinguishing himself through conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his own life, above and beyond the call of duty, while engaged in action against an enemy of the United States. With us here today, I am very proud to say, is Master Sergeant Robert Gutierrez, an Air Force Special Operations Combat Controller, who the Thudgate family believes has distinguished himself in representing the commitment made by those F-105 pilots and Master Sergeant John Chapman in placing service before self. We will now have a roll call for Master Sergeant Chapman. I'd like to point out that participating in the roll call today is a legendary member of the Fire Department of New York City, firefighter Ken Haskell. On 9/11, Ken was off duty when he responded to the attacks on his beloved city. Unbeknownst to Ken at the time, his brothers, Battalion Chief Thomas Haskell and firefighter Timothy Haskell, had made the ultimate sacrifice in our war on terrorism, lost in Towers 1 and 2 respectively. It should be noted that Ken's cousins have had their sons decide to serve our nation by attending the Air Force Academy. Both of those young men are here today. Nick Haskell, a 2017 graduate, recently assigned to RPAs in Air Force Special Operations Command, and TJ Haskell, who's here, is an outstanding third degree. After the roll call, Master Sergeant Gutierrez Air Force Cross citation will be read, and then we will have the distinct honor of having Terry Chapman, our cherished Gold Star mother of Chappie, present the 2018 Thudgate John A. Chapman Service Before Self Award. After the award is presented by Terry, Major Crawford, a 2003 graduate of the Air Force Academy, former Stowe, and one of Rob's teammates, and also the 2017 recipient of our award, will say a few words about his great friend. You'll also hear a few words from Master Sergeant Gutierrez, and if they are so inclined, we would love to have the Chief of Staff, Secretary of the Air Force, please, if you would like, come up and say a few words yourselves. Let me just make one thing clear. For anyone here that thinks you're going to escape drinking Jeremiah weed, you're sorely mistaken. It's going to be a part of it. When the comments from our distinguished speakers are completed, we will have the toast, which will include the singing of the third verse of the U.S. Air Force song, led by Chip Cum, one of my fellow Thudgate founders. Senior Master Sergeant, sound the roll call.
Lieutenant Colonel, Far, Lay, No.
Here, Senior Master Sergeant.
Major Crawford,
Here, Senior Master Sergeant.
Major Harridge,
Here, Senior Master Sergeant.
Firefighter Haskell,
Here, Senior Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant Chapman, Master Sergeant John Chapman, Master Sergeant John A. Chapman, Master Sergeant John A. Chapman, killed in action, 4 March 2002, Takoa Gar, Afghanistan.
Terry, if you come up, please. It's a great honor from an unbelievable woman. Terry.
It's my honor to present this to you, Rob, with much love. Thanks.
Juan Gutierrez.
First and foremost, thank you guys very much. This is a distinct honor and pleasure, not only for myself, but also for every airman that's serving. Every day, as my job as a senior NCO, especially leading America's future warfighters that we're training out of AETC, we try to set the example of our core values, and as we know in special warfare, is to never quit. I can't thank you enough for this opportunity to be selected. It's a huge honor, and like I said, just to even be here is a huge greatness that I'll remember for the rest of my life. We do everything for our airmen. We do everything for our country, and nothing less. We expect to win, and we go out and we give everything because we just don't quit, which is an exact representation of Master Sergeant John Chapman, which all of us try to achieve to be one day. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. God bless.
So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Rob, Master Sergeant Gutierrez, GZ, also the Hispanic Panic as he's known in ST by his buddies. We all know, you've heard the stories of the consummate warrior that he is. A little closer, okay, sorry. He's a true consummate warrior, the quiet professional, so you won't really know all that he's done in his career by just looking at him, talking to him. And when Mike Simler asked, is there any names of someone that you would possibly want to present forward for Terry and the Chapman family to kind of run his name by, I didn't even take a second to mention Rob's name. And so I just want to say a few statements about Rob that I know, the friend, the teammate, the undevoted teammate. So a few years ago, I was struggling with some hidden wounds from combat deployments, degradation, neurological skills, nightmares, just things that you suffer through fighting these wars. And I raised my hand and said that something's going on. I don't know what's going on, but something's not right. I need some help. Well, it quickly made its way to Rob. Rob's immediately calling me, my wife, Mary Karen, asking, like, what can I do? Go back to 2010 to a combat deployment. I lost my mother-in-law, who was really a second mother to me on a deployment. And I got a message like, hey, you have a phone call. And it was GZ that was on a Iridium phone getting a hold of me to make sure that I had the data. Hey, what do you need? He was already talking to my wife, Mary Karen. Family is in need, his own family. He drops what he's doing to make sure that they have a house over their head. They have a vehicle if they need it to get to work. He helps them take care of family members. Teammates are in need. He helps their family. So for me, it was an easy decision for not Rob the warrior, but Rob the friend, the teammate, because he exudes service before self, not just in the military fashion, but as a human being. So, Rob, I love you, buddy, and congratulations.
Ma'am, would you like to come up and say a few words? Totally up to you. Whoever wants to take it.
I just wanted to thank all of you who put this together and continue to remember and to call each other's names. It's a wonderful tribute to our airmen, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Chip, you're up, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, my great friend, Colonel Chip Cum, the third verse.
Everybody sing along.
A toast to the host of those who love the vastness of the skies. To a friend we send the message from his brother men who fly. We drink to those who gave their all of old. Then down we roar to score the rainbow's pot of gold. A toast to the host of the men we boast, the U.S. Air Force.
And now it's my turn. Let me tell you, there's an old fighter pilot up in heaven, probably with a few other fighter pilots, and there's one thing on their mind, and that's real simple. Seek Navy! Thank you all. I know that's horrible, but it's all right. You'll be all right.
So good.